now let me introduce you, because Tom actually sent me this amazing letter today. This is how I'm going to introduce you, Tom, because he sent, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to put this together, because I'm in Australia and it begins at 8 a.m. So I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to organise this for you. And he sent me this lovely letter, and I'm going to read it to you. And he said, I'm in for delivering a beautiful opening and closing ceremony. At the fire, everything goes just right because it's all about the energy. If you haven't already, I invite you to take a moment and relax your mind right now. A relaxed mind is an invitation indicating you are open to receive the guidance you've asked for. It's easier this way. That's what they tell me. I am sure you've received the same message many times. Now, when you see me at the fire, I want you to know this is no ordinary fire. The whole place is charged. Fire, earth, and sky. And the energy goes around the world, connecting us all. It's a magnificent blessing for all of us to be together in this way. The ground I stand upon is holy ground. I share this ground with you. It's holy because of who we are and what we bring to life. And because those who have gone before us have blessed it with their innocence and their peace. This is how we begin, knowing who walks with us. And Tom, I've got goosebumps with that, but it's just such a wonderful thing to say. And I woke up with that this morning. It was very heartfelt. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you so much for sharing that. It came in a moment of inspiration. And yeah, what a great way to start off, huh?
I thought so.
Well,
I thought
yeah,
so.
thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tom, people who don't know you.
So where do I begin?
Well, don't start.
Let me say this. Now, so this is a working fire. This is this is where I work. And so I work as a shaman and a mentor and a guide for people. I was a chiropractor for 30 years. And I had a great run, you know. But I left my practice to devote myself full time to doing this, because this is what's being called for through me. It's been called for through me for years and years and years. And what my guide said, share your ceremony. Make it big and make it loud, because it's the safest place to be. Which is to say that for each of us, the ceremony that lives in our heart is really the safest place for us all to follow that internal guidance and the wisdom of our own spirit. Because as we all know, if we look outside into the world for guidance and direction, we'll be sorely disappointed or worse, you know? And so it just makes good sense to go within. So the fire is really about just what I was led to. I mean, I didn't start out like this, you know, like so many of us that are participating and the presenters also too. I mean, we just get led to our work and then we surrender to it. And so that's really what I've done, is surrender to the wisdom of the fire, the metaphor, the symbol that it represents, knowing that it's all symbols. As George Carlin said, as he once said, symbols are for the symbol-minded. So just remembering that, you know, the real power lies within us, within our heart and spirit. So there's no place else I'd rather be, and there's nothing else I'd rather do than to share this with all of you. And so it's my honor to do this.
We really appreciate it, Tom.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking me. And so I want to welcome everybody to this opening fire ceremony for the worldwide virtual Mind Body Spirit Festival. And it's my honor to be able to share the fire with you.
What does a fire ceremony do? It's a connection, isn't it? It helps us connect.
Deeply. It's so fundamental. It's so elemental, obviously. You know, it's one of the primary elements. And, you know, it's what our ancestors were doing 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You know, people often say, oh, are you native? You know, and then there's some claim to native heritage, but I say it doesn't matter. We're all indigenous. So we all have a claim to some ancient time when our ancestors were doing just this, kneeling around, sitting around the fire, trying to figure out this life, our place in it, our connection to spirit. And I'm pretty sure that there was no separation between nature and the spirit and the human. It was just part of the fabric of our reality. And that's been my experience as I've come to the fire again and again. I've done hundreds of fire ceremonies. And, we travel halfway around the world to find a sacred space on the land, a sacred spot, right? But it's where we are is sacred because of who we are, because of what we bring. We make the place sacred. And so I recognize that here, and I acknowledge that for each of us. And it's especially true for me, and just my own experience here on the land is ceremony after ceremony. All the ashes from every fire are right here on the land. So all the prayers, all the blessings, the gratitudes, the grief, the unburdenings, mine and those of others, are all right here, and they're honored, And I got to say it with a smile because just it's too easy to get serious about it all, like too serious. So I like to be a little irreverent. And so what I will say about the fire too is, well, it's a transformative element for sure. I mean, you put something to the fire, it goes up in smoke. And I say, symbolically, it goes up to spirit. So if there's something to release, something to let go of, something to offer, the deepest, most heartfelt prayer, put it to the fire and let it go up in smoke. And we can all do this at home in the privacy of our own home with a candle. I recommend people make their own fire pit and create their own ceremony, the one that lives in their heart, to find that, to give it expression.
So Tom, why are ceremonies so important? I mean, people seem to have a special connection with ceremony. Why is ceremony important?
Yeah, the ritual of ceremony grounds it. It grounds me. I'll make I statements, and then people can identify. It grounds me. It brings just the act of coming to the woods, gathering wood. My mind is loose, relaxed. I really start to dial into the earth and just the presence here outside, and then the physical act of making the fire and laying the the limbs onto the fire and letting it build up and dropping into that place, that really sacred place within us to be able to offer our prayers and blessings. Yeah. And to take that responsibility, like we so often leave prayers and blessings to the clergy, the rabbi, the priest, the minister, the pastor, and really it's ours to do. And that was something I discovered on the land. They said, you do the blessing. You offer your blessing. Like, find the words, find the language for your prayers, not the prayers by rote, which are okay, but find the language for your own prayer and speak it aloud. So it comes through your vocal cords out into space, and it becomes that much more more substance to it, like that. Yeah. I could go on and on about the fire.
No, that's wonderful. Some people have experienced a fire ceremony before and others haven't. And it's even the ritual and the ceremony. And so it's like you're very experienced at this. So I guess I'm asking questions from an unexperienced perspective.
No, that's totally okay, because, what was I going to say? I don't know. I'll think of it as we go along here.
Yeah,
there's so much. I mean,
I can smell the smoke, and if you sort of close your eyes and imagine being with Tom, you can really smell the smoke, and you just feel immersed in it then.
Yeah. I've done a bunch of virtual fires, and I realized this works. It works.
It does.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was, this is not a traditional ceremony. So if anybody out there is going, well, that doesn't look like a ceremony I've ever been in, it's because it's self-generated. It came to me. It's all the elements of the fire, all the elements of my ceremony were given to me, and so I put them together in my own unique way. And so, sometimes I might hear, oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be sharing that on whatever media, social media. And I'm like, I can do whatever I want with it because it belongs to me.
Yeah.
And in a good way. You know, I don't mean that flippantly by any means. So there's something to be said for, you know, reclaiming your power to express yourself ceremonially, prayerfully, spiritually, you know, and to not be afraid. Which, you know, I've experienced that in my life, you know, being afraid to let my spirituality be seen like this. This is very, I'm very vulnerable right now. It may not look that way, but I feel vulnerable, but
Well,
safe.
You're
You know,
well,
in a safe space.
You're well loved and very safe here.
I know. I actually know that and appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. So I'd like to begin by offering a sage blessing to everyone. And can you turn the screen onto me so I could just have my camera person hold it?
The screen is on you. Oh, are you talking to me or someone else?
Yeah, oh, to you.
No, the screen is on you.
Okay. Can you, is it able, I don't know if I can flip it. You think I know how to do this stuff?
You don't need to flip it. Can you only see
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Now it's flipped. There we go.
Okay.
I wasn't seeing that little camera flip thing before. Okay. Well, Gail, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I want to thank the team that helped produce this with you. I want to thank all the presenters and all the participants who are here with me on this. We're all here together. So let's take a moment just to center ourselves, just drop in to this space, feel your feet on the floor, your butt in the chair, feel the energy of the earth supporting you. You know, I'm on the earth and I can feel it's solid and it holds me and it's holding you also. And so just relax, take a deep breath, and we'll dive in. I'm going to put more wood on the fire too. So like I say, it's a working fire, and I gather all the wood by hand. I cut it by hand. It just seems to be essential to the authenticity of the whole process. I also want to acknowledge that we're on the tail end of this, on the heels of the spring equinox, which happened in, you know, the wee hours yesterday morning. So this is a time when night and day are equal, and there's balance between the sun and the moon, and the masculine and the feminine. It's a time to look at balance in our own lives. Are we giving and receiving in a good balance for ourselves, for our well-being? It's a great time to write down anything you want to let go of. And with a pinch of tobacco or sage or incense, bury it in the earth with a prayer, your own prayer in your own words, or to put it to the fire and let it go up in smoke to the Creator. And it's also a good time to write your intentions down, the things you want to have more of in your life. It seems that we can never do that enough to clarify again, clarify more deeply what we truly want to have in our world, not so much in possessions, but in qualities and in relationship and connection. You said it best, Gail, when you said the ground we stand upon is holy ground. And I really hold that to be true. Where we are right now, and I should tell you this, we're about 20 miles east of Durango in Southwest Colorado. And I live in this massive corridor of ancient energy. It's 100 miles long, east to west, and about 20 miles wide, north to south. And this land belonged to the Ute Indian tribe. This was their hunting grounds, their ceremonial grounds, their burial grounds. They lived and died here, and this land belongs to them. And I honor that. And I honor the spirit of this land and all that's gone on before me here. And I know that I have the permission to do what I do because of the spirit of this place. So it's something I take it to heart. I take it very seriously and with the deepest honor I can muster. And as I said, the ground, well, as you read in my note to you, the ground we stand upon is holy ground because of who we are and what we bring and because of those who've gone before us, and bless it with their innocence and their peace. This is holy ground because we're here and we're here together. And even wherever you are in the world, we're connected through this fire. So let me begin by welcoming you all with a sage blessing, just to get you cleaned off in a good way. I perfected the art of self-blessing, which is, I think, a fundamental skill that we should all have, to be able to bless ourselves first and then bless the world. So welcome to my fire. Welcome to this ceremonial fire for the opening of this wonderful event and all the beauty and the expression that's here. I welcome your mind, your body, your spirit, your intelligence, your brilliance, and all that you hold dear is welcome here. Oh. You should probably note that where I'm kneeling in the west facing east, because most of the smoke goes that way. So it's practical. But I also kneel because it seems to me the most appropriate posture for the work that I do here. And so with that said, what I'm going to do now is lay down the circle. And I use a proprietary blend of cornmeal, salt, and tobacco to bless and honor the earth, and to set a soft boundary between what's inside and what's outside, the soft delineation. Because what we're creating inside is sacred space. We're creating a safe container where we can work together, express ourselves, and allow spirit to inspire us with new understanding, new openings, new knowledge. And I'm going to say words that we all recognize. And what I'm doing is I'm literally reclaiming the language and giving the words all the meaning that I can give them. And you'll hear them as I speak them, and you'll recognize what I'm doing. And I always begin in the east. And I always begin in the same way. We set our sacred circle this day with prayers and intentions for peace and understanding, love, joy, wisdom, guidance, ease and grace, strength and light, wonder and curiosity, beauty and power, abundant prosperity and all good things, community, connection, clear communication, healing and wholeness, forgiveness and surrender, gratitude for all that we have, all that we are, and all that we're becoming, appreciating the gift of life, remembering who we are, why we came, and who sent us, allowing our highest good, and awakening to the truth that lives inside of us, reclaiming the sacred for all time for ourselves, our families, our communities, persevering in the face of challenge, remembering our innocence and our wholeness with honor, blessing, and service. Aho. Now I'd have all of you stand right where you are, and I want you to do this with me. I'm going to honor the directions. And We face east to begin. If you would be so kind as to join me in this. We face east to begin, and then we make a quarter turn to the right for each new direction: east, south, west, north, above, below, and within. So just follow my lead. We honor and welcome the direction of the east, the place of the rising sun, the dawning of a new day, the place of new beginnings, the energy of love, joy, compassion, and that of the visionary and the lover, the place of prayer and the kingdom of air. Thank you for your blessings and your gifts. Oh, quarter turn to the right. We honor and welcome the direction of the south, the place of the midday sun, a time of day and the time in a life when the work gets done, the energy of the warrior and the healer, and of passion and innocence, a place of sacred purpose, the kingdom of fire. Thank you for your blessings and your gifts. Oh. We honor and welcome the direction of the west, the place of the setting sun, the time for rest and introspection and going within, the energy of knowledge, wisdom, and truth, the place of the teacher and the student, the energy of grief, of letting go, and the kingdom of water. Thank you for your blessings and your gifts. Oh. We honor and welcome the direction of the north, the place of the winter sun, the energy of gratitude and blessing and overseeing the realm and the home of our elders, the energy of the king, the crone, and the good shepherd, and the kingdom of earth. Thank you for your blessings and your gifts. Oh. Come back to center again. We welcome the above, Father Sky, the masculine principle, the energy of inspiration, the home of the sun, the wind, the moon, the stars, and all the planets, including our own. We thank you for the light that gives us life, the hope. We welcome the below, Mother Earth, the feminine principle, the energy of generosity and abundance, of stillness and peace, the place from which all things come and to which all things will return, including our bodies. We are reminded to walk gently upon your skin with respect and reverence. Oh. We welcome the within, the spirit expressed through me, through all of us, the vessel through which this life force is expressed. We thank you for this gift, the place of our humanity and our divinity. Thank you. Aho. We welcome the ancestors and those who've gone before us and upon whose shoulders we stand. We welcome the children and those who come after us and who will stand upon our shoulders. We welcome the energies that guide and protect us. Thank you for your guidance and your protection. The spirit of this land, thank you. We welcome the nature spirits, the devas, the shining ones, and the elementals, and the element of fire, air, water, and earth, in intelligence and awareness, and the mystery, those things about which we know nothing but are here with us all the same. Thank you. Oh. I'm going to rattle in a prayer. That's what I just call rattling in a prayer. I always use two rattles, and there's lots of twos in my ceremony because as it was given to me, it's a reminder of it's always you and me together, me and spirit together. So I use two rattles. Announcing our presence, really. We are here all together now as one. Oh, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Creator of all that is, ancestors, grandmothers, grandfathers, loved ones who've gone before us, and each of us, each one of us, our entourage of guides, angels, and beings of light. We welcome you to this fire. We welcome you to this ceremonial space. We welcome you into our lives. We thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your oversight and protection. We thank you for always being beside us, for having our back, and for the love with which you embrace us. Thank you. Oh. Now what I'd like to do is offer a big blessing for the festival, for each of you and your lives. And I also have what I call a proprietary blend of sage, sweetgrass, tobacco, and cedar, lavender, copal, frankincense, and myrrh, Palo Santo. I'll put all of this to the fire in just a moment. Share this blessing with all of you. Let this blessing go out to each one of you, your families, your homes, your communities, all that you hold dear, all that sustains life for you in your world. Bless this fire, bless this land, bless this community, all of us, the mothers, the fathers, the children, the grandchildren, the elders, all across this land, all around the world, all of our world leaders, and those who are empowered to make decisions that affect all of us. May they do so with wisdom and compassion and love. Let this blessing be carried on the wind to all the corners of the globe, to touch the lives of all humans, all sentient beings on this planet, blessing them with the peace and the love and the serenity and grace and joy. All these qualities that we can muster in our hearts. Let this go out to the world from all of us. Aho. I offer a big handful of sage that I picked from our land here in the sage field. What I say about the sage is that it holds our prayers, it holds our intentions symbolically. And we put it to the fire as a symbol of our gratitude, of our expectancy of good, of our alignment with the will of a power that's greater than all of us. For all of you, for all the prayers that you hold dear to your heart, I put this to the fire. that concludes our fire ceremony, the opening of the festival.
Tom, we've lost your sound. Oh, and your photo and your video. Tom,
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yep.
So I'll say again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your patience and your generosity, and for bringing your hearts and minds and spirits to bear in this gathering, and for me here with me here at the fire. And I want you to know that all of you leave a little bit of yourselves here, just by virtue of your presence. And so I take that, into my heart, take it to the fire, and know that you've blessed the land as you've blessed me. And may these blessings be returned to you tenfold. So thank you all very much. Gail, thank you so much again. And peace to all of you.
Thanks, Tom. That was a wonderful ceremony, and you've had some lovely comments in there thanking you and really appreciating you holding the space, and it's allowing people to just relax enough to let more into their lives that they need.
Yeah. There's something to be said about relaxing. Relax, like you in what I wrote to you. A relaxed mind is an invitation to guidance. Otherwise, we're lost. We're lost.
That's our direction, isn't it? To relax and you direct. I mean, people talk about, I remember I was talking the other day to somebody about, they were talking about the great thinkers of our world. And I said, well, really, that's an oxymoron, because the greatness comes when you stop thinking. They're the moments in between where the greatness comes. So great thinkers really doesn't exist. It's that greatness that comes through when you've allowed yourself that space in between the thoughts.
That comes through in spite of us. In spite of our ego mind. That's a whole nother story.
So thank you very much, Tom. Please join with me in thanking Tom. And Tom will be here for our closing ceremony as well in 10 days' time. So thanks, Tom. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I'll be back. Thanks, Gail.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for our very first day of the Virtual Mind Body Spirit Festival. It's 10 days long. And if you have any questions or you need anything, ask us in the Facebook page. Can you come to Colorado and pick some? Oh, you can come to Colorado and pick some. Oh, they're talking about sage. There was a conversation about sage. Thank you very much for everybody for being here. And I'm just trying to turn off here my recording. Recording.